Sup, it's Three Toe, and we are back here with Corpse Party. Now, last time we ended off on a bit of a cliffhanger with apologizing and not apologizing. But I think we all know what happens, right, when you don't apologize. So I'm going to apologize. If I didn't say something to calm her down, Seiko would run off, and I knew she couldn't be by herself right now. So I pulled myself together and tried to apologize to her with the words, Oh, wait. The words wouldn't come. As soon as I tried to form them, something caught itself in my throat. I found myself unable to breathe and doubled over in a fit. Dummy, are you okay? I'm sorry, Naomi. If I'm bothering you, I'll go. I hate to leave your side, but if that's what you want, I won't argue. No! Seiko. Wait. I see her off in the distance, her figure growing smaller and darker until it vanished altogether. I knew I'd made an awful, irreversible mistake. I wish I could save. Felt like something was in my mouth. I had no idea what it was, but there's definitely something in there. I stuck my finger and tried to dig it out. My finger found something I pulled out. Oh God. I just kept pulling and pulling. I couldn't believe how much there was. The strands stretched all the way from my stomach through my esophagus and into my hands. And even then, there was still more to pull. The motion was unnatural and was creating a repulsive, sickening sensation along my tonsils. Felt like I was going to throw up again. Where did all this carrot come from? Was all this stuck in my throat? There's only a faint notion before, but now I was certain. I was remembering some future event. I didn't know why or how I was repeating time. Am I just not allowed to apologize? I feel a dark will guiding me. Someone or something wanted Seiko to be killed in this timeline as well. But I wasn't going to let it happen. Not without a fight. I have to go after her. I have to apologize. I can't leave her alone like this. I ran as quickly as I could in the direction Seiko had gone, but then... No. A fierce earthquake began shaking the building. It was so violent, I couldn't even stay standing. I crouched along the ground, waiting for it to pass. Everything was moving, and there were sounds of objects creaking and breaking all around, or cracking and breaking all around me. Glass was shattering, ceiling tiles were raining down upon me. I was scared for my life, so scared, so very, very afraid. I was certain I was gonna die. Maybe a big chunk of ceiling would fall on me, or the floor would open up at my feet and swallow me whole. I kept wondering how it was going to end. Was I gonna be crushed? How badly would it hurt? How long would it go on before I finally died? My head was swimming with all kinds of worst-case scenarios, while my body just remained motionless on the ground. I'd never felt so helpless before. I didn't even care anymore. I just take any release I could get. Just make it stop. But there was no release for me. All I could do was curl up in a ball and pray. Shake, shake, shiver, shiver, shake. I wonder how much time had passed. It could have been only a moment, a few minutes, or even a few hours, for all I know, but it did finally end, and the dark corridors were silenced once more. I gradually loosened my stiff body, uncurling from the floor. Blotches of dust and wood chips fell from my hair. Some of the finer debris had gotten into my clothing and was crunching around like sand with every moment. It was not pleasant. I brushed myself off as best I could and slowly rose to my feet, slapping my skirt in vain to clear away any excess dust and dirt. The particles in the air were like a white smoke billowing through the pitch-black hallway. It took me a moment to get my bearings. Once I finally did, though, I almost wish I had. Except for my eyes Instantly, okay. The earthquake completely caved into the parlor floor. It was no longer possible to continue down this hall. No longer possible to trail Seiko. If I'd been cowering from the quake only a few feet ahead, I'd be dead for sure. Swallowed up into whatever hell lay down there. Okay. I knelt down by the edge of the hole and peered within. It was too dark to tell for sure, but if what I thought I saw was correct, then the ceilings in the school are unreasonably high. To make matters worse, it seemed like the floor directly below had fallen out as well. I didn't dare consider just how deep this pit might go. All I know is I couldn't risk falling into it. Shivering in terror, I pulled myself up. What do I do? Can I get around it? Okay, so this is different already. Okay, it was pretty similar, like 1-to-1 for what had kind of happened, what I described. This is different. This is not what happened. I have to hurry. I definitely had to hurry. If I didn't, Seiko would commit suicide. But there was still time. I was determined not to let it happen. No matter what, I was going to save her. I was going to change her horrible fate. Okay. Okay. Go to the nurse office. I don't like this place. This is weird. This is weird. This is like completely different from the first game. But everything feels a lot more fleshed out, like the scenery, you know? I don't like this place. The infirmary where I had been attacked. I didn't want to stay in there any longer than I had to. The horrible sensation in my body being overcome by that hair, like a mist, was something I've never hoped to experience again as long as I lived. There's a pair of scissors on one of the shelves. Okay. Proper procedure for dissection. Oh yeah, so that's gonna be the same. Right. There's a number of bottles lined up on the shelf here. Each one of them seems to be packed tightly with small chunks of unidentifiable meat, and the smell suggests they've been here for quite a while. Okay. All things here, there's surprisingly little dust on these beds. There's nothing under them, is there? No, there isn't. Good. Okay. So, like, can I go to this hall? It's a mess of blood and trails on the wall. There's someone launched from across the corridor. The smell was positively vile. Seiko had commented on it before, but it was really hitting me now. Every breath I took triggered my gag reflex. It was all I could do not to vomit again. The door to the science lab is frozen in place as if it's just a decoration on the wall. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Where am I now? Hall. Okay, I'll go up to the hall. As I walked through the dark corridors, every hair on my body was standing at attention. I had goosebumps from head to toe. Felt like a fog of uneasiness was swirling around me with each step I took. And the fog was growing thicker and thicker to such an extent that I began fearing the darkness might swallow me whole and I'd cease to exist. I feel my sanity slipping away. I didn't know how much longer I could hold out, and I was starting to lose my patience. I just wanted to get it over with. Fear was like a slime covering my entire being. No matter how much I wiped, I was only squishing it around. It wouldn't come off. It was stuck fast. I walked around aimlessly calling out Seiko's name. By doing so, I think I was able to dull my senses, just barely maintain a grip on reality. Seiko, where are you? Please answer me. I wasn't thinking straight. I want to apologize. Pat, I swore I saw a light running off something. It looked like for a moment like a web of sinewy string stretched all the way across the hall. I slowly crept forward until I could confirm that they were in fact strands of wire. Gently, I reached out and touched the closest one. Ow! When I had a way of looking down it, there was now a very fine, clean slice right on the tip of my finger. Tiny red beads were beginning to form. Those beads just kept getting bigger and bigger as I watched, eventually swelling into one another and forming a single drop of blood. Then the drop of blood became too heavy for its perch and began winding its way down my hand towards my wrist. Piano wire. No. A little different. I can't believe it caught so deeply from just one faint touch. Had it been sharpened? It really stung. If I hadn't noticed those wires strung across the hall. Oh, yeah? I started to think of what had happened. Death not from malevolent spirits, but from a mere booby trap. Who could have done this? There was definitely a planned malice behind it. I could sense an ill will in the air and began to tremble. Was someone watching me, even at that very moment? Was someone just waiting for me to fall into their trap and die so they could gloat about it? Someone there? Hey! It was like an unconscious shout. I couldn't control myself. I was scared. Whoever did this was heartless. I couldn't just let it go. Stop this, please. You're scaring me. Don't do these awful things to people. A bevy of negative emotions began swimming through my head. I suddenly realized I was crying. And I knew that this corridor with its web of razor-sharp piano was effectively impassable. At least for the moment. I needed to find somewhere to cut these wires, or some means of disabling the trap. So I had to go back the way I came and search the rest of school for answers. Okay. So right here, it's pretty clear we need to go to the nurse's office. How do I grab the scissors? Grab scissors. Oh, right click also opens it. 17% darkened. All right. We're going to end off this episode here on that note. We almost died. It's kind of crazy. Well, anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.